Fear and intuition often feel the same at first. They both create hesitation. They both slow you down. They both show up right before a decision. And because they feel similar, most people confuse one for the other. They assume the loud voice in their head is intuition, or they assume the quiet pause means something is wrong. But fear and intuition don't move you the same way. And once you learn the difference, decision-making stops feeling like guesswork. Why this confusion exists. Most of us were never taught how to tell them apart. We were told to trust your gut without being shown how to recognize whether the gut is speaking from wisdom or from survival. So when a decision appears, we hesitate. We replay scenarios, we search for certainty, we wait for a feeling that makes everything obvious. But clarity doesn't usually arrive that way. And the longer we wait, the louder the internal noise becomes. That noise feels important, urgent, convincing. But most of the time, that noise isn't intuition. The voice of fear. Fear comes from the brain. Its job is to protect you from uncertainty. So when you stand at the edge of change, the brain reacts. Fear is loud. It speaks quickly. It speaks in worst-case scenarios. Fear sounds like, what if this goes wrong? What if you regret this later? What if you lose something you can't get back? Fear rushes you towards a decision, not because the situation is dangerous, but because uncertainty is uncomfortable. The brain doesn't like open loops. It wants closure. Any closure. Even if that closure means staying stuck. How fear feels in the body. Fear contracts. You can feel it physically. Your chest tightens, your breath becomes shallow, your thoughts narrow. Your world starts to feel smaller. Fear limits options. It frames decisions as threats. It demands immediate relief. And the relief fear offers is almost always familiarity. Not truth, not alignment, just what's known. The voice of intuition. Intuition feels different. It's quieter, steadier, less emotional. Intuition doesn't argue with you. It doesn't pressure you. It presents something and waits. You might not feel excited by it. You might not even feel confident. But underneath the discomfort, there's a sense of recognition. Not urgency, not panic, just clarity. Intuition doesn't demand certainty. It doesn't need reassurance. It simply points. And that's why it's so easy to miss. How intuition feels in the body. Here's one of the clearest distinctions. Fear contracts you. Intuition expands you. Fear tightens the body. Intuition creates space. Even when intuition leads you back towards something difficult, there's often a subtle groundedness beneath it. A calm knowing. A quiet steadiness. Not comfort, but alignment. That feeling doesn't shout. It waits for you to notice it. A simple test. Here's another way to tell the difference, and it's one most people overlook. Fear wants justification, intuition does not. You see, when fear is driving, you feel the need to explain yourself, to rehearse reasons, to prepare defenses. to convince others before you even act. Fear asks, what will people think? How do I explain this? What if I can't justify it later? Because fear is social. It's concerned with perception, approval, and outcomes. Intuition doesn't operate that way. Intuition doesn't arrive with a speech. It arrives with a direction. You may not know why something feels right. You may not be able to explain it clearly. But the signal itself remains steady, even when questioned. Here's another distinction. Fear fragments your attention. Intuition simplifies it. Fear scatters your energy across possibilities. Intuition quietly removes options, not by force, but by irrelevance. You stop obsessing over 10 different paths, and you notice the one that just keeps returning. Not louder, but consistent. And that consistency, especially when it doesn't emotionally escalate, is often the clearest sign you're not listening to fear. One of the hardest parts of following intuition is accepting that it rarely gives timelines. The brain wants guarantees, deadlines, proof. The mind works in direction, not prediction. And that's uncomfortable, especially in a world that rewards certainty. So we keep asking, how do I know this will work? When will this pay off? What if I'm wrong? But intuition isn't trying to solve the future. It's trying to align you with the next step. Not the whole path, not the outcome, just the next honest move. And that's why listening to it requires trust, not confidence. Trust that clarity doesn't always arrive first. Trust that understanding often follows action. It doesn't precede it. The brain wants to feel safe before moving. The mind moves first and lets safety catch up. That tension between them isn't something to eliminate. It's simply something to recognize. Because the moment you stop confusing fear for intuition, you stop outsourcing your decisions to anxiety. You stop waiting for permission. You stop mistaking noise for wisdom. And slowly, quietly, your choices begin to feel like yours again. That's the work. This is mind versus brain.